Faith without knowledge is like a tree without roots. It may appear alive for a moment, but it cannot stand for long. True faith grows deeper when nourished by understanding, reflection, and education. A person who believes blindly may hold sincerity in the heart, but without learning, that belief can easily be shaken by doubt, misguidance, or false interpretations. Education gives faith its foundation. It transforms belief from mere emotion into a well-grounded conviction. Throughout history, the greatest believers were also seekers of knowledge. From prophets to scholars, they taught that to understand the Creator, one must also study His creation. The Holy Quran begins with the command, Iqra, read, emphasizing that learning is the key to recognizing divine truth. Knowledge opens the eyes of the soul, allowing one to see beyond ritual and tradition into the meaning and purpose of faith itself. Without learning, faith becomes shallow, often limited to customs passed from generation to generation, rather than a conscious conviction born from understanding. A person with little knowledge of faith may pray, fast, and speak of belief, yet still misunderstand the essence of God's commands. Such faith can turn rigid, judgmental, or blind because it is not guided by wisdom. Education, however, refines faith. It teaches humility, the awareness that one's understanding is limited and that true knowledge belongs to God alone. It encourages reflection on the signs within ourselves and in the world around us, as the Quran repeatedly reminds us to ponder, think, and observe. Faith, when supported by knowledge, becomes like a shining light, steady, radiant, and guiding. Education also protects faith from distortion. Many evils in the world today are not caused by a lack of belief, but by a misunderstanding of what belief entails. When people act in the name of religion without true comprehension, they harm others and misrepresent the message of peace that all divine teachings stand for. Knowledge, therefore, acts as a safeguard. It purifies belief from superstition, fanaticism, and ignorance. It teaches that faith is not fear alone, but also love, mercy, and justice, qualities that define the true believer. For a society to remain faithful, it must invest in both moral and intellectual education. Schools and homes should not only teach how to earn a living, but also how to live with purpose. Parents, teachers, and leaders must pass on faith not as a burden of rituals, but as a journey of discovery, where questions are welcomed, learning is encouraged, and truth is pursued sincerely. When young minds understand why they believe, not just what they think, their faith becomes firm, unshakable, even in the face of doubt or temptation. A truly educated believer does not claim superiority. Instead, they serve others with compassion and justice. Education deepens faith by making one humble before the vastness of divine wisdom. The more a person learns, the more they realize how little they truly know, and that realization strengthens their awe and fear of God. It is through this harmony of faith and knowledge that humanity advances, spiritually, morally, and intellectually. Let us then seek education not merely to rise in worldly ranks, but to rise in spiritual understanding. Let every book, every lecture, and every lesson be a step closer to the Creator, a bridge between the mind and the soul. For faith without knowledge is fragile, but faith with knowledge becomes eternal. And such faith, enlightened, humble, and grounded in truth, is the kind that changes lives, shapes nations, and earns the pleasure of Almighty God. Please subscribe pressing the bell icon to receive notifications of future videos when uploaded.